Hey Liam, who am I doing an impression of? Oh hi, it's Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit.
Yeah, and who am I doing an impression of now? Yeah, SpongeBob, yeah.
SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, now who am I doing an impression of now?
Garfield.
Hey! Garfield! Not that Garfield, not that Garfield, or that Garfield, but that Garfield. What words can we use to describe Garfield that has been used before when describing that funny orange cat? Light-hearted, comedic...
Demonic, scary, H.P. Lovecraft-inspired?
That's the one. But when did this happen? Why does Garfield inspire H.P. Lovecraft imagery?
To find out that answer, we must look at the man who made the cat.
Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, was born 20th of July 1945 and is an American cartoonist. He first created Garfield 19th of June 1978. Not realising how popular it would become, Garfield was born.
Jim used his own life as inspiration for Garfield. He grew up surrounded by a whopping 25 cats. The name came from his grandfather, James Garfield Davis, and he used his grandfather's personality to boot. Hard, rough exterior, but has a heart of gold. Jim set up the comic strip in his hometown of Muncie in Indiana and made John, Garfield's owner, a cartoonist.
And Jim also likes lasagna.
Who doesn't? This obviously led to Garfield becoming a cartoon, and later a film, and then later Supreme Ruler of the Universe in 2045.
So then why are we talking about this? The internet is a very strange and confusing place. It's given a spotlight to independent artists and creators showcasing their work. So then why, in the past 20 years, has it seen an uprise in horror-style imagery for Garfield? It's so widespread the term Garfield has been coined when used to describe the imagery. When did it start? How did it start? And why are we talking about it today?
Shh! Truth be told, we don't have one solid theory as to why this happened. Instead, we have three.
Our first theory is that the meme culture has had a very significant part in the Garfield status.
Zalgo is a prehistoric meme created in the year 2004 on the website Something Awful by Schmorky. He modified some Nancy and Archie comics in which the origin starts. The ominous Zalgo is believed to cause insanity, death and destruction to the world and its people. That's not going to happen to us, right?
No. The meme consists of an image, normally something living, like a person or animal, with their eyes and mouth have been covered in either a black or white void, but more often than not, it mostly involves blood coming out of their eyes, nose, mouth, ears, basically anywhere on the face, with cursed demonic speech on the screen.
Schmorky had this to say: I like how people who try to figure out the origin of this meme don't even know where it came from originally. I'll tell you where it came from me. I just made it up. Zalgo is something horrible. Zalgo is something that's coming. It's coming soon. It has nothing to do with Lovecraft. I'm not nerdy enough to make those kind of references. Seeing it become a meme kind of killed doing any further Zalgo edits in the future, for me anyway, but maybe I'll do more when you least expect it.
Where are we going with this, I hear you ask?
Although the Zalgo comic was relatively well known on Something Awful, search query volume for Zalgo did not peak until March of 2009, when it's made its way to, you guessed it, 4chan. This is where it blew up. In 2008, however, one notable Zalgo creation was an edit of one famous comic, Control-Alt-Delete, and a Garfield comic book back in 2008. But that was over 10 years ago. A decade in internet years. Seems like a stretch to suggest that this was the origin.
Okay, want a more recent example? Lasagna Cat is a YouTube channel that parodies the original Garfield comic strip to showcase just how unfunny they are. From the subject matter, it deals with quite dark scenarios and depicts Garfield in a semi-realistic fashion. So Lasagna Cat has only uploaded in two bursts, one in January 14th, 2008 and again in February 23rd, 2017. And whilst not the origin either, it seems to play some sort of role in the Garfield genre.
I want another example.
Okay. On October 22nd, 2013, artist DoBaby posted a comic in which Garfield consumed its owner's John's house, as he do, and then later in September 12, 2018, Redditor made a free origin comic depicting Garfield as an eldrich monstrosity, which received over 15k upvotes. 6 days later, famed horror artist William Burke decided to give his own take, which arguably is what made it well known. The trend kept going in a series of videos and similar work from other artists, with Garfield often addressing John as such as remarks as "I'm sorry John" and "I require lasagna." Thus, a meme is born. I believe the truth in how Garfield images gain popularity can be found in all three of these possible examples. What started as a completely different meme back in 2000 influenced popularity of artwork and became widespread as artists wanted to give their own take. And once shitposters got hold of it, the rest, as they say, is history. Good night, everyone.
No, have you forgotten what the video is called?
Oh, yeah.
It's why did it inspire, not when the horror-style imagery started. Controversial take, but Garfield is boring.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay, but describe an exciting episode of the Garfield cartoon, or an action-packed comic panel.
Garfield smokes a pipe.
See what I mean? Garfield, as a concept, is just an ordinary household cat that hates Mondays and loves lasagna. There's no action, rarely any conflict, and devoid of any controversy. Equally, the Garfield comics are repetitive, mundane, and just not funny. And it's been that way for over 30 years.
That's to be expected, given Jim Davis has been very transparent about his inspiration on creating Garfield. It was just modelled on his life, and his life is probably devoid of any conflicts.
So, can you blame people for the Garfield horror-styled imagery? They're just trying to make the source material more interesting than it actually is. Artists love subverting expectations. It's a fun concept. Don't believe me? Look at David Lynch films. They're all artistically successful, mixing the wildest horrors with the mundane world. So then why can't the same be done for Garfield?
But Garfield's just a cat.
And Thomas is just a train. Doesn't stop people. Garfield, as a character, is quite a shit person. He torments Odie and John constantly, subjects them to punishment and mistreatment, and revels in their pain and misery. So then, is anyone surprised while most, if not all, illustrations depict Garfield as a devil or a monster?
So Garfield, a mundane cat, becomes a Cronenberg-type monster was always bound to happen?
It's possible. It's taking one extreme to the other, and let's not forget that Garfield has been pushing this image and reputation for a while now. With Garfield having been around as long as he has been, there is so much source material from comic strips, cartoons, toys, and many more. Naturally, some look bad, either down to poor manufacturing or rushed deadlines. It's this that could influence some artists.
And it seems like Jim Davis is alright with the artist changing the source material. In an interview, Jim Davis was asked about his thoughts about a webcomic that removes Garfield from the comic panel and that gives an extensional look at John, and he called it an inspired thing to do. So I think it's natural he would approve of the Garfield sleep paralysis demon.
With Jim Davis being transparent on his inspirations to create Garfield on his mundane life, does that mean we are living in Garfield's world?
Maybe. And I suppose that's a reason why we have seen people try to change both the comic and our day-to-day life, whether it's creating fictional monsters or real ones. I suppose when it comes down to it, people just naturally jump on a trend, either wanting to inspire, create, terrify, or promote their own socials. And if it's by creating something horrifying, then go for it.
And ultimately, when you next watch Garfield or read a comic about him, it could give you a new perspective to how to look at the character. Goodbye.
What about H.P. Lovecraft's Thomas the Tank Engine?
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I think the perfect to it and the was looking kinda dumb with her figure.